Good evening, FantasyDaddy.com viewers. This is the nighttime edition. I'm James Bowe alongside Bowe Fertig, and today we are talking Fantasy Daddy value picks. Let's get right into it. We're talking position players. Running back Chris Johnson actually going into looking for his 6th consecutive season over 1,000 yards. Had one 2,000-yard effort back in 2007. Where do you see Chris Johnson going this year in this year's draft?
In a lot of drafts, Chris Johnson, he's back, ladies and gentlemen, projected to go in the 3rd, high 2nd round, maybe mid-2nd round if you want to stretch that far. He showed the ability to cut back, and he had the acceleration to separate. And those are the questions that we wanted answered. He answered that in the first preseason game with a 57-yard touchdown. Because of that, I like him as your number 2, possibly number 1 running back.
Get on, CJ2K, get on!
Another guy I like, going in the 8th round, Rashard Mendenhall. Yes, Bruce Arians loves to throw the rock, but Mendenhall loves the one-back system, and guess what? That's what Arians likes to run. He'll run a lot of goal line touches as well, because they have no big back. They're going to get in the end zone, they're going to get in the red zone, and because of that, I like Rashard Mendenhall having a good season this year.
Take care of the rock, Carson!
Shane Vereen loves mismatches in the Patriots, in the New England Patriots city. And guess what? Tom Brady loves mismatches as well. Shane Vereen creates that, lining up with backers. We saw this in the first preseason game. Brady drops back, sees Vereen lined up with a linebacker. What is he going to do? Drop it in the corner. Smooth touchdown. Vereen almost looks like a receiver out there. Hard to believe because he's a running back. A guy that I like later, you talked about late sleepers, value picks. Daryl Richardson, he will be the last number 1 back that is off the board. Because of that, I like him in the 12th round.
And we saw what Isaiah Pede really did. He can't really take care of the ball. Not a really featured back.
Right.
I mean, I don't really think Daryl Richardson's a featured back either. But anyways, let's hopping over to receivers. We're talking Larry Fitzgerald now. Larry Fitzgerald actually had 4 seasons in his career over 1,400 yards. This guy is an absolute animal. We saw his year kind of degress last season.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for him to have a bounce back season. What are we thinking, Bo?
Larry Fitzgerald projected in about the 4th round. He looks like he'll be your number 1, possibly number 2 receiver. Either of those will work for me. Over 1,000 yards. You had mentioned the 1,400-yard mark. Crucial around that pick, as well as, I believe this year, double-digit touchdowns because Bruce Arians loves to throw the rock. He will highlight Larry Fitzgerald this year, move him inside, outside, and because of that, I like Fitzgerald along with another receiver who's now in a new offense with a new offensive coordinator. That's a guy we like, Dwayne Bowe, projected to go in about the 4th or 5th round, will serve great as your number 1 or number 2 receiver. I like him going in the 5th round. Another guy, number 2 receiver, Miles Austin, projected to go in the 8th round. I like him because he will most likely be your number 3 or number 4 receiver. Yes, injury is a concern, but if healthy, he will get 1,000 yards and he will get around 8 touchdowns. A couple guys around the 7th round mark, that is, Torrey Smith, Greg Jennings, Deshaun Jackson. I like those guys. What about you?
A lot of guys with speed. You always got to think home run hitter. If they're able to catch that deep ball, that's going to provide that much more value for them, especially in the later rounds. And not to mention, let me add a couple other receivers on that list. I like Chris Givens for St. Louis. He's proven that he can be a good possession guy. He's had over 900 yards last season. He looked good in his first preseason game, 83 yards and a touchdown. What about DeAndre Hopkins? You see that circus catch he made over there? Let me moss you real quick.
Real quick.
DeAndre Hopkins, you saw him make a lot of circus catches over there in college. Syracuse, yeah. I like those 2 guys, like maybe 10th round, 12th round, later pick guys that you can look.
They're exciting players. And when you make big plays like that, it's worth the value pick. It's worth the risk.
Playmakers equals value. Let's hop over to tight ends real quick. We got a couple tight ends that are looking for value picks. Who are these guys?
Yeah, even go as high as Jimmy Graham in the 3rd round, yes, that is great value. He will have a good year, 90 receptions, over 1,000 yards. Another guy I like later in the round, Antonio Gates, going in the 9th or 10th round. Standard leagues especially, 900 yards, around 8-9 touchdowns is about his 10-year average. Give me that in the 9th round, and you're going to do things for your tight end position. As well as another guy, Jason Witten, likes the targets from Tony Romo. I know you like that guy a lot as well.
Yeah, Jason Witten. I mean, their lockers are right next to each other. I mean, they probably share each other's,
Beer.
I mean, either way, Jason Witten looking at a big year. He had more targets than Des Bryant, and we all saw what Des Bryant did last year. He had his first year over 100 receptions in his career last year, Jason Witten. I see that digressing a little bit, but not by much. I mean, Jason Witten, he's been doing it for years. He's a vet stud. And that's pretty much going to do it for us for today here at Fantasy Daddy Value Pick Evening Edition. Thank you for viewing, and stay tuned. King James who?
But at BOWEFERT as in Tiger IG.
That's our Twitter rant, and that's going to be it for tonight. Thank you very much for tuning in. FantasyDaddy.com.